BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, good people? Bet Online is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Bet Online continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. What's up, family? Jared the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Check The King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
Bossman Show, a friend of the show, Coach Kevin Baggett, the Rider Bronx, out of the Mac. Coach, good to see you again. How's life up there in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, my brother?
Good to be seen. Everything is all is well. We're in our season now, and I'm excited. We got 8 new guys. We got a lot of teaching going on, but it's been exciting so far.
And Coach, for you, man, starting off your year 13 as a head coach, been there since 06, man. In this business of coaching that we're both into, man, how's it cool to be at one spot for so long to be able to raise your family and once without having to move, man?
You know what? It's been a blessing, man. I thank God every day that I get up and have an opportunity to come to this job and be the head coach of this university. But I'm also very thankful for our athletic director and Don Harnum, our president and Greg DeLomo, who's believed in me from the start of this thing. And I'm just appreciative because, again, I know, our tenures are short. You're hired to be fired, and I'm thankful we've built a really good, consistent program here with great student athletes, great people, first and foremost. And, again, it's all about the people, man. It's all about the coaches and the players and the administration, because without them, there's no me. So I'm thankful, and I don't take that for granted. And it just gets harder as you're somewhere for so long, man. Some people get tired of you, you get tired of them. So it's been a great marriage so far, and I hope to continue to be here as long as they'll have me.
And Coach, you have 7 winning seasons as the head coach here. And, being the MAC, we have to play bye games, tough conference games. So talk about just for fans who don't really understand how hard it is to really have a winning record in lower D1. We have to go play bye games and hit tough 1B leads and win the way you have done over your tenure here at Rider.
Yeah, so for those that don't understand it, like for Rider University, I'm asked to go and raise money for the athletic department for the university. So if you looked at my schedule last year, which was really tough, we got off to a slow start. I swore I didn't want to do it again, but I was asked to do it again this year. We got UCLA, we got San Diego, we got Villanova, we got Iowa, we got NC State. That puts a lot on not only myself but on our players. Again, we want to go out and compete. We won our share of games against some of these high level teams, but at the end of the day, like that does something to guys' psyche sometimes when you're playing a bigger, stronger, more athletic program. Going into these games that from the officiating standpoint, I don't want to put it out on blast like that, but you're not supposed to win those games, right? And so there's so many things variables that go into it before you even get onto the court. It's a lot of pressure, if you go back and abstract a lot of those games out of my record, man, my record would be even better than what it is. And so, but again, that's a partnership that I have with the university. I'm willing to team with them and be a team player in terms of raising money for the university. We'll raise over $400,000 again for our university. And so anything that I can do that would help this university, I'm always willing to do it. They've been gracious and great to me, and I don't mind doing that. But again, you hope that doesn't set you back when it comes time for league play or injuries or what have you, or just the guy's mental. It took us a minute to get their mentals right. And, that's the part that's hard and people don't understand.
Speak to being a Tennessee State coach, being 3-10 for the OVC play,
Right.
4-9, and having to tell the younger dudes, like, man, it's part of it. It's part
Right.
of it. Don't.
Right.
We're doing this for a bigger cause.
Exactly.
Yes, we want to win. We might think
Right.
be healthy after this and not let it
Right.
affect you when the games really count to Christmas. That's how I tell the
Absolutely.
young guys.
Right.
I was
Right.
used to it being in Tennessee. We had to raise money, so we're gonna be either 3-10, 4-9, 5-8, something like that. But obviously,
Yeah, but along the way, this boss man, just compete.
Yeah.
In some of those games you win, right? And if you do win those games, that really hopefully set you up for a really good season. And so, again, man, it's hard, but that's why we try and recruit the best players, and we all do. Don't get me wrong, but that's why we try and recruit the top players, top transfers that can help us to go and compete against these programs. And some of these guys have come out of some of these programs, Tariq Ingram from Wake Forest or Zion Cruz from DePaul, so they know what it's like on the other end of this. So, I just hope that we have the right makeup and the right team this year to go out and compete against this tough schedule that we have.
And coach, having 8 new guys, coach, man, for you this offseason, was it more about trying to develop their games individually, trying to input some team stuff early? So now we're in this fall period here before November the 4th comes, they're kind of knowing the concepts, knowing our schemes, knowing what we're doing defensively, offensively. So it's not such much a crash course now. You kind of can't prepare yourself the right way for November the 4th, which is coming in with it right there in a month or so.
Yeah, so we have to, and this is the new way of the world now with the portal. And I used to feel for Calipari back in the day when he would recruit all freshmen and get them in there all new, and a year later they'd be gone. And so that's kind of where we're at now. It's kind of where college basketball is. Everybody more or less is going to have a new roster every year. And for us, it's a lot of teaching. I'm very detail oriented about everything. And so it takes a student athlete a minute to learn everything it is that we're trying to teach them as far as how to play. Because more importantly, when they come in our program, I'm trying to assure them that if you come in here, you listen, you learn, you get in the gym, we'll help you to become a professional, whether it's in the NBA or overseas. But there's a lot to that. And when you're only getting them for a short period of time, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, who knows, it's difficult because a lot of these guys have not been taught very much at all. And I tell these guys all the time, like the players or coaches that you've coached under or played under, excuse me, did you a disservice. And so we're not going to do you a disservice in this program, which is partly why we've been here as long as we have, because we do try and teach and educate our guys how to play. Yeah, they're bigger, faster, stronger, more athletic, but that doesn't necessarily mean you know how to play. And so now when you come into our program, not only offensively, but in particular defensively, we're trying to teach you how to defend and play better defense. And hopefully that'll carry over when it comes time for you to have an opportunity to turn pro. And we know this because some of our guys that have come back and done Zooms with our guys, they'll tell them, some of these owners or coaches will say, you've been coached in the program that you're in. That's the ultimate compliment for our program. And so when our players hear that, it's like, okay, you know what? Maybe we ought to listen. Maybe we ought to lock in a little bit more and do what it is coach is asking us to do. And so that's the biggest part of just trying to get this new group of guys to get there sooner than later, especially with the schedule that we have.
No, 100%, coach. Having experienced young men, especially because we know you being the MAC, it's about the conference tournament,
Right.
in Atlantic City. So having older guys who are experienced, who have been coached, they can execute under pressure in those
Right.
3 to 4 days in Atlantic City, man. Talk about having those young men on the roster that's played and who can know how to win close games and aren't affected by pressure and adversity of trying to win.
Yeah, and we dealt with that again last year. Even though we had a veteran-laden team, we go in, we're on a 7-game winning streak, and we lose in the first round again to my nemesis, St. Peter's, when it comes to that MAC tournament. So we go out and we get more experience. We're trying again. I talk about the lay of the land and where it's at with the portal now. I'm not going to go out and recruit as many high school guys, right? And so this year I only have 2 high school guys. Our roster is made up of transfers out of the portal. And also the way that we've started to identify it is find other transfers from the junior college that were in 4-year programs that it just didn't work out for them maybe in those programs, but I'm assuming and hoping that they've been taught and understand what it is to be at a Division I level. And then when they go to junior college for that year, then those are the type of transfers that I'm looking for. I'm not necessarily looking for that transfer that's never been exposed to the Division I level. And so that's kind of the way we kind of built this roster with experience. And so I'm hoping that this experience going in and playing this schedule and then the experience that we have, that it'll help us to prevail this year when it comes to that MAC tournament.
No doubt, coach. Like I said, man, for you guys, it's really about that little window right there.
Absolutely.
Trying to peak at the right time. And you
Right.
did pass. I thought last year, coach, was we chatting because you had that 8 years on the stress. Okay, Coach Baggett going to win this thing on the right track.
It's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. I claimed it a long time ago. It's God's time, man, but I'm hoping this is God's time for me now.
You got that right, man. And you know what, coach? I like about having older guys, man, in close games, man. They know how to make the free throws and how to make those blockouts and take the charge, make the right rotation, make the right IQ play, or he can break off a play, whether a young guy trying to look to you for guidance late in games. So about that piece of it, coach, having older guys who can really execute in close games, man, because those little small details like you talked about, free throw, blockouts, free throws, right rotations, the right pass, breaking off a play, those matter. And having experience of playing, it really helps you in that regard.
Yeah, experience matters. Guys that have been under that duress a little bit, haven't played in, X amount of games. That's important. Last year, we had a guy like Mervyn James, man, that when the game was on the line, we were going to make sure we got the ball in his hands. One, because we knew something good was going to happen. Secondly, if he got fouled, we knew he was going to be able to get to the free throw line and make those pressure free throws. And as a team, we shot him really well last year. And we try and practice that all the time with our guys, but there's nothing greater than having guys that have experience and have gone through it and been through it. And so we have a number of guys now that have gone and have a number of games under their belt that I'm hoping when those times show up and will show up, that they make the free throws, especially when that game is on the line, man. That's the difference of winning and not winning. As you said, getting into that tournament, winning a game here, getting a seeding there. And so experience is always the most important thing and the biggest value of anybody's program.
No doubt, coach. And for you, man, how do you go about trying to keep guys fresh as well? Because I know in this new era that's not October 15th anymore. When back when you and I was playing, right. It's all year long there after finals come back in the summer. So how do you kind of balance guys not getting burnt out? With being with you so much and being practicing and preparing about them staying healthy all year long.
Yeah, so we've come to learn as coaches now that one, our players, their attention spans aren't nearly as long as it was when we were coming up, right? Secondly, due to the fact that they are constantly playing year round, I just don't practice nearly as long. We'll watch more film because I still think that's a big part of it. I think telling your guys what it is that they're doing right or wrong, some of that, yes, is great. but being able to show it as well, I think that really helps it as well. Some of these kids learn in different ways. And then I've never been a guy that practiced our guys long. And if we're going to have a second practice, I call it a mental practice. We'll come back, we'll introduce some plays, we'll introduce maybe a press, anything that it is that we could do without putting any more stress on their bodies, having practice and asking them to lift weights and get up and go to class, to travel. All of that at the end of the day, plays a part in these guys and trying to keep them healthy. And so, knock on wood, we were healthy last year. The way that we make sure that the recovery, what it is that they're putting in their bodies, the rest, the treatment every day, even when your body feels good, making sure you stay on top of getting treatment and getting your rest and all of those things are important. Stay off the phones. I think these guys don't understand the importance of putting them away and just, shutting it down and getting your rest. And so those are all the things that we take into account as the year goes on. And we'll practice early, long. We'll go a little bit longer early on, but as we start to get into, conference play or not conference play, in the conference, we cut it back even more. And so we've been pretty good at making sure that we keep our guys healthy. And again, also having depth, right?
Yes.
There's nothing like having depth. And we try and play a lot of guys. And my biggest thing that since I've been a coach and haven't been a former player, show up to practice every day, give me everything you got. You deserve to play if you do those things. And so that allows us to be able to play a lot more guys. It allows guys to come in and say, well, if I'm practicing, I'm doing what coaches asked me to do, I get an opportunity to play. And if you don't play, I don't want those guys on the end of the bench sulking and not being happy. And so that takes a part in your locker room as well. So there's so many factors that go into it. But like I said, the way that we've done it, it's been pretty successful.
No doubt, coach. I think young men like playing for somebody like you, where this opportunity, if I'm consistent with my work and my habits, I have a chance. Not with some guys who you and I both know won't say no names, but they have a little rotation. It's gonna stop at 8, sometimes 7. Or 66 and a half. Okay, let's be real. So if other guys, why am I showing up to practice if I know you ain't 27 focus every day?
Yeah, and I was that player at one point, so and I understand that. And as I got into coaching, I'm like, you know what, I want these kids to come and give me everything. If you're asking them to give you everything that you got, and they do that, then you got to reward them, man. I'm not saying they're gonna play as many minutes as maybe someone else ahead of them, but they're playing and they feel like they're contributing, and I think that's important.
No doubt. As much as my dad would say, you got to keep guys alive.
You do. Absolutely. That's key. There you go. Well said.
Keep them alive. I remember my dad was a high school coach. He would tell guys day one, I view you as a screener, a corner 3 guy, a pick and pop guy. He said, it's your job to work hard and show me you not that guy and change my opinion of your role.
Right. That's a good way to say it. Because everybody thinks their role is something different, right? As opposed to coach, so then you give them an opportunity to either prove you right or prove you wrong, right?
Yeah. Hey, coach, man, my dad was I would watch him do it. I'm like, he said, this is what you're going to do and prove me wrong.
Right. There you go.
Hey, my dad was that old Atlanta dude about he's in care. Like, it's what you show me.
Right. Exactly.
Said, I'm Missouri. Show me, son.
One of my coaches said that the other day in practice. So that registers to me all the time, man.
Yes, sir. And coach, you got a couple of guys, man, from Georgia. Start for Andre Young, man. What you like about that young man's game, coach, to basically want to make it part of your program, man?
Yeah, so again, man, we've been fortunate. Coach Washington out at Pebblebrook High School. We've had Dwight Murray, we've had Mervyn James, and now Coach Wash hit us up again and said, hey, man, we have another young man transferred, left Troy, the guy I mentioned to you early on, Troy University, tore his shoulder up there, ended up going to play for a year at the junior college. And then, you know what, man, I really believe in what Coach Washington does at Pebblebrook. The way he coaches his guys is similar to what we do here, and the way he loves up on his guys, similar to here, man. And now that relationship has allowed us to be able to go back into his program, having seen what we've done for his other players who both are playing professionally at this point. And so we're pretty excited about Andre. He's an undersized point guard, man. Is he fast? He can score the ball. And, he's going to be a pesky guy on defense. And so again, man, we've had success with the two Pebblebrook guys. I'm trusting the fact that this will continue again with Andre in our program as well.
And you got Zacho Littleton from Albany, Georgia, a town I go to pretty often. I got friends and family down in Albany, Georgia. About his game, coach.
Yeah, so Zacho comes to us again. He was a young man that I mentioned to you. Started out at App State and then ended up going to junior college. Coach Tyndall, who's out at the junior college that he played for, is a former high major Division I coach, and so I know this young man's been coached. Zacho's been coached. He's a gentleman, a young man that could really shoot the ball. So we're excited about having him in our program. Again, by way of knowing Dwight Murray and all of those guys, they all know one another there. And so everything that came out of, when we were going to recruit Zacho and everything that we heard about his work ethic, his character, we got really excited about it. I know we had some competition recruiting wise, but we did our due diligence and we thought that he'd be a good fit for what we had lost out of our roster from last year. And so I'm excited because I said to him, listen, be my Steph Curry. Be ready to just hunt shots and be ready to knock them down. We need, everybody needs guys that can make threes, man. And so he's a guy that we're going to lean on a great deal to take a lot of threes and make a lot of threes.
No doubt, Coach. And that's one for you, man. So, Coach, man, how have you been able to get away from the game a little bit, decompress a little bit when you're not going so hard, man? So how are you getting away from the game but then keeping your mental right, man?
Yeah, you know what, man? This was the first summer that I really committed to golf the way that I did, right? And I did some traveling. I went to Croatia, which was beautiful. And then I took my family to Jamaica, which is also beautiful. That's about our third time there. But I really took up a lot of golf, man. I wanted to do it. I'm a workaholic, but yet as I get older, I'm like, you know what? This job's going to be here at the end of the day longer than I'll ever exist. And so, just getting away, getting a clean and fresh mind, man, and just to be able to reboot, because this thing goes year round, all year round, whether it's recruiting, or it's going out and just practicing with our guys or what doing Zooms with our returning guys and what have you, and going out and having to raise money. And now you got the NIL now that you got to raise money for. So it's 24/7, 365, man. So I just started to say to myself, you gotta take a step back from this. Don't let it kill you, because again, it will kill you. And so I really started playing well, and my best friend and I have been going at it. We've been talking a lot of junk amongst one another, and so I started to reap some of my work that I put into it. And so, man, I'm excited about it, and it's too bad that I got to put the clubs down now, but I'm back to my day job, man.
Hey, Coach, you know what, man? I have not made the transition from top golf to real golf. I'm pretty good at top golf.
That's a major transition.
so I'm gonna try to take this top golf confidence I have, take it to the real course, because I'm pretty good at top golf right now, Coach. Getting the ball far to get all them points, man. With me and my guys go out there and play top golf.
All right. I tell you what, man, it's addictive. Now that's the hardest sport to me that I've tried a lot of sports, man. But when it comes to golf and that little ball that you think that you can hit a long way, man, it's not all about that, man. So you really gotta practice it just like anything else. And like basketball became second nature to us. So now you got to go back and do that for golf where it becomes second nature to you. But I've watched guys on the professional level with golf, Tiger Woods and all of them. Just when you think you got to figure it out, you don't have it figured out. So it's an interesting sport, but it's a good one.
It's good, Coach. So some of my teammates, they can't really do what I do anymore. They kind of, life is gotten to them. So we can go do top golf and we can go bowl, and it's not physically harming for them.
Right.
I love doing tennis as well.
Okay.
So my teammates can't do that.
Right.
So we found top golf and bowling as ways we can compete and not hurt, but no, we're tell nobody body.
It's still a way to talk junk, man, which is if you're an athlete, man, once an athlete, always an athlete, man, and a competitor. So that's exactly what I am.
Looking forward to the next Friday, Coach. First take is gonna be at Tennessee State. So we're gonna be at first take.
Oh, beautiful.
It's our homecoming week.
Okay. Hey, man, I did 2 years at Howard, man. There's nothing like homecoming at an HBCU, man. It's unbelievable, and it's a great experience. The bands are awesome, man. That's going to be awesome. I can only imagine, man.
Hey, Coach, back-to-back weeks, man. Homecoming at Tennessee State. Then we play at Howard.
Oh, okay.
The 19th. So I'm going there because the Hawks don't start till the 23rd. So I got a little break between preseason and the season started. So I'm gonna go to DC and support, go up to Howard, see my man Coach Scott, Coach Blakeney, and hang out up there for a few days, then come back to Atlanta and then get ready for the season again, year 15.
Yeah, well, those guys do a great job at Howard, man. I had a great experience there. It was fun and just the camaraderie, man, when it comes time to go to an HBCU game, man, nothing like it. Nothing like it at all, man. So I'm excited for you.
No, hey, Coach, before you go, man, Howard plays Tennessee State in basketball in Atlanta, too.
Oh, is that right?
On November 13th at Georgia State's Arena. They come into Atlanta, so I'll see Penny and KB go right there. So it's going. I'm going to see a lot of HU.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know the bands. Everybody gonna be up in there rocking, man. So that's gonna be a heck of a time.
But Coach, good to have you on the show again as always, Coach. I love our chats, man. Wish you best of luck to you, and hopefully talking again in March once you win that thing in Atlantic City, man.
Hey, I want you to come celebrate with us when we do, man. It's going to happen for us, man. It's our time. So I appreciate it. Always enjoy being on your show.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely. Be safe.
Will do.
All right. Have a good one.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z. Sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, good people? Bet Online is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Bet Online continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. What's up, family? Jared the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.